Hey, iqkid here to talk about stoichiometry. So stoichiometry is the numerical relationship between the amounts of reactants and products in a chemical reaction. Stoichiometry allows us to plan and execute chemical reactions to obtain products in desired quantities. So to stoichiometry, the steps are 1. To balance the reaction, 2. Convert to from grams or whatever the units of measure that you're given, convert to moles. Step 3 is to convert the moles of the known substance into moles of the desired substance by using the mole-to-mole ratio obtained from the balanced reaction. Step 4 is to convert moles of the desired substance, what you obtained from right here, into the desired unit of measurement if you want something other than moles. And then step 5 is to check significant figures. Okay, so let's do an example. In this example, we're going to use the following. If 10.2 grams of calcium phosphate is reacted with excess sulfuric acid, A, what mass of calcium sulfite can be produced, and B, what mass of sulfuric acid was consumed by the reaction of 10.2 grams of calcium phosphate. So part A, to start, we're going to do step 1. So step 1 is to write and balance the reaction. So let's write the reaction first. So the reaction is Ca3PO4 2 aqueous. Don't forget to write in the state, plus H2SO4 aqueous goes to H3PO4 aqueous plus C, so I'm going to bring this down, CaSO4 solid. So to balance it, we need to put the mole-to-mole ratios. So to balance it, let's put a 1, which you don't actually have to put, but just so that way I have everything there, I'm going to. And then this would be a 3, and this would be a 2, and this would be a 3. So that is the balanced reaction. Okay, so for step 2, we're going to convert the 10.2 grams of Ca3, calcium phosphate, Ca3PO4 2 into moles. So that would be 1 mole of Ca3PO4 2 over the molar mass of calcium phosphate, which is 310.18 grams Ca3PO4 2. So that is equal to, it's about equal to 0.0328841 moles of calcium phosphate, so Ca3PO4 2. And so I kept so many digits because you need to have the exact number, or as close to the number as you can, until the end, and then you can round. Okay, so let's move on to step 3. In step 3, we're going to use the mole-to-mole ratio to find moles of calcium sulfite. So we have 0.0328841 moles of calcium phosphate times the mole-to-mole ratio, which would be 1 mole of calcium phosphate for every 3 moles of calcium sulfite, and that would be equal to 0.098652395 moles of calcium sulfite. Okay, so then it asked, in the original problem, it asked for the mass of calcium sulfite. So we need to convert the moles that we have right here into mass. So we have 0.098652395 moles of calcium sulfite times 1 mole, so this would be the molar mass, so times 1 mole of calcium sulfite for every 136.14 grams of calcium sulfite. So this is the molar mass. Okay, and that would be equal to 13.43053711 grams of calcium sulfite. Now this is the answer, but we need to remember that we have to use the same number of significant figures as the problem started with. So, or we have to keep track of significant figures. So to do that, we're going to take 13.43053711 grams of calcium sulfite, and since the problem started with 3 significant figures, we have to end it with 3. So the final answer would be 13.4 grams of calcium sulfite. So that's your final answer for part A. Okay, so now let's do part B. In part B, we're trying to find what mass of sulfuric acid was used in this reaction. So step 1 is to convert from the given quantity, 10.2 grams of calcium phosphate, and so to convert that to moles. And we already did that in the previous problem, so I'm just going to do it real quick, or in the previous part. So 1 mole calcium phosphate over the molar mass, so 310.18 grams of calcium phosphate, and that's about equal to 0.0328841 moles of calcium phosphate. Okay, so then step 2 is to use the mole-to-mole ratio. So we're going to take the 0.0328841 moles of calcium phosphate, multiply it by 1 mole calcium phosphate under, let's check the original chemical reaction balance. So here's sulfuric acid, so that would be 3 moles of sulfuric acid for every 1 mole of calcium phosphate. Okay, and that would be about equal to 0.098652395 moles of H2SO4. Okay, so then step 3 is to convert that quantity to the desired units. So we're trying to find the mass. So we're going to take 0.098652395 moles of H2SO4 and multiply it by the molar mass. So that would be 98.076 grams of H2SO4 per mole of H2SO4. So that is about equal to 9.67543233 grams of H2SO4. And so that would be your answer, but again we need to take significant figures into account. So we're going to take the 9.67543233 grams of H2SO4, and again we started with 3 sig figs and we need to stay consistent, so we're going to end with a final answer of 9.68 grams of sulfuric acid. And in this case, sulfuric acid would be aqueous. So this is your final answer. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any questions or would like some clarification on something I covered in this video, you can contact me through the email in the description. And if you have a suggestion for my next video, you can also contact me through my email in the description. And yeah, so have a wonderful day, and IQ Kid signing off.